Naples, Florida might not officially be the birthplace of pickleball, but boy, have there been a lot of stars born at the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. And today on Championship Saturday, we're ready to add another chapter to the ever-growing story. Well, they call it the Paradise Coast. Sofia hoping to make the mixed doubles a paradise event as she and her teammate Casey Diamond, they have not dropped a single game in getting here to the finals, and they hope to keep that trend going. Going to be a little bit harder to do today.
Yeah, Diamond and Seving playing very, very well this week. They've started to really find that groove over the last year.
Meantime, you look at the #1 seed, Anna Leigh Waters and Jay Devilliers. They also have not dropped a single game in getting here. And Anna Leigh, all the accolades and all the medals.
Well, you said it the other day that Jay Devilliers loves playing with Anna Leigh Waters. This is the first time they're playing together. He doesn't have to do as much. It's more 50-50 out here in mixed doubles. I think there's times where Anna Leigh comes over and takes over more of the court in that sense as well, but Seving and Diamond going to have to really be on to try and push Devilliers and Waters to the limit here.
And we will start with Waters and Devilliers in the near court getting the serve. A packed house on hand for this one here in Naples. Seving goes into the kitchen. And that'll make it 1-0. Tried to hold her balance.
It's a beautiful speed up there from Anna Leigh Waters. Drops the head of the paddle, quick acceleration, perfect roll on that backhand.
I love the expression out of Casey Diamond there. Seving unable to catch up to that one. It's quickly 3-0.
Yeah, Seving sliding just a little too far to her right there, trying to clear the backhand.
Anna Leigh Waters, perhaps the biggest name in all of pickleball, certainly the biggest female name in all of pickleball. Signed a endorsement contract with Nike as well as one with Franklin. She goes for an Ernie, well defended by Seving, but then into the net.
It was a great pickup there from Devilliers from the toes. Waters and Devilliers coming out, being aggressive early on.
4-0-2.
Diamond finally able to end the bleeding. And the side out will get it to Diamond and Seving. Sofia Seving, a Florida native from the Miami area. The Ernie by Devilliers.
Oh, nice hands there from Diamond. Waters tried to go cross body. He was sitting backhand, but quick to that forehand. Nice movement with the hand.
Diamond the speed up and Anna Leigh the finish.
A little unlucky with the net cord there. Popped up perfectly for Anna Leigh. Able to get on top, put it past Diamond.
1-4-2.
Anna Leigh up to 10 career gold medals in this tournament, counting her medals before she played as a pro. Side out gets it quickly back to the #1 seed.
Wait, what's so impressive with Waters there is that as soon as she speeds that up, she's anticipating every ball coming back. She's quick onto the second attack.
Diamond's testing the quickness there and proves Anna Leigh's human.
That's good finish there by Diamond. Going outside the right hip there of Waters. You know, don't sleep on Casey Diamond's hands, that's for sure.
And the side out. So Diamond will take over the serve. Diamond originally from the Louisville area, played 6 different sports in high school, one of which was tennis. And too long on that serve.
1-4-2.
Well, the point will get it back to 2-4-2. Thought they might have been unlucky when Seving's shot hit the net there.
2-4-2.
Another good spot there from Waters. I do like, though, that Seving and Diamond are coming out. They're being aggressive. They're trying to dictate things on their terms as well.
4-2-1.
Anna Leigh Waters made her debut on Zing Zang Championship Court 7 years ago. As a 12-year-old, Seving says, sorry, not sorry.
Well, that ATP was potentially there. Waters choosing to go back through the middle to try and get Seving and Diamond off balance, but Seving lucky with that net cord.
Ooh, too much on that from Diamond.
Yeah, a little double wrist flick there from Diamond. He was trying to add a little bit extra power. That ball just flew off the paddle.
Seving the speed up. Devilliers thought about it, hitting it.
He thought about touching it, but that wasn't too far from going over there from Waters. Good court movement there from Seving and Diamond off of that offensive lob from Waters. Seving had to go back and get it. Diamond stepped over, covered the gap.
2-5-1.
Unforced error by Devilliers. Was trying to hit that touch shot with Seving so far back.
3-5-1. Second serve.
Nice deep return there from Waters.
So, she's so good. I mean, that thing didn't have a lot of margin, but she knew exactly where she was putting that.
Yeah, that pushes Seving well back behind the baseline. Trying to hit that drop off the back foot.
Anna Leigh moves it to 4-5. By the way, we've hit the part of the day where the sun is peeking through the shade structure over on the side, and not a lot of times during the day that becomes an issue, but see how that plays into things. Waters goes back to get it. Great job by Waters and Devilliers to keep it going, but then ultimately Devilliers can't catch up to it, and we're tied at 5.
Seving trying to get the crowd behind herself and Diamond. Excellent speed up there from Seving, going down the line, getting Devilliers outstretched and then hard back at that forehand. Seving knows the crowd's behind Waters and Devilliers here, as Anna Leigh Waters is the crowd favorite for sure.
Seving and Diamond get up to the kitchen line, but it's not going to matter. Side out.
Anna Leigh giving a big yeah back in the direction of Sofia Seving.
Anna Leigh, no matter what bracket she's been, has not been tested that much this week. Her and her mother in women's doubles did drop a game in the semis yesterday in the pro doubles.
That's a great setup there from Seving, using the angle to pull Waters out wide off the court, open that hole in the middle. Leave there from Seving. Devilliers trying to slide that one down into the movement of Seving, but just went outside that right shoulder.
Seving, who had a promising tennis career before a knee injury, actually went to the University of Miami briefly, hoping she could rehab that injury while playing collegiately, but only appeared a couple of times for the Hurricanes before going back to tennis, and ultimately went to pickleball because it's a little bit easier on her knees. She says she still deals with it to this day, and no detriment right there.
Another good ball there from Seving.
And Devilliers and Waters want a timeout as we are midway through game number 1. Perhaps an upset brewing in Naples, Florida. Well, we said at the top, Seving and Diamond have not dropped a game this week here in Naples, Florida. So anybody who thought this might be a cakewalk for Devilliers and Waters just because they're the number 1 seed, proving to be mistaken right now.
Yeah, it's been a good job by Seving. Going behind Devilliers a couple of times, keeping him honest. See if Devilliers starts holding the line a little bit more. Good ball there from Waters. A little stumble step from Seving, wasn't able to get to it and pick it up in time.
Diamond comes over and finishes.
Oh, that's a great job there from Diamond, who's a little late to that first forehand. Devilliers trying to sneak it through the middle, and then Diamond steps up, gets on top of that last forehand, blisters it past Waters.
Too much on that one, so side out back to Waters and Devilliers.
5-7-1.
Only 1 point on the last 8 serves for Waters and Devilliers.
Ooh, just out.
Yeah, that was some good defense at first. Seving waving the finger.
By rule call stand.
Let's see on that replay. Ball clearly out right there.
5-7-2.
That one's out too, just.
And I'm wondering if Anna Leigh might have hit a ball that could have possibly gone out.
Just missed the inside out there, did Seving.
So Diamond now. You really don't want to have an empty serve opportunity here. You got the lead, but you don't want to give this number 1 seed a lot of chances. Devilliers does get the hold.
There's a nice backhand flick there for Devilliers. That third shot sat up off the paddle of Seving.
And that ends a drought to get it back to a 1-point game. Devilliers and Waters, they have played together in some exhibition settings prior to this U.S. Open, but never in an actual tournament that mattered. And Anna Leigh leaves it short.
Yeah, nice defense there from Waters and Devilliers, but a couple of overheads from Seving and Diamond proving just too strong.
Jake got under that a little bit.
Yeah, that's where Devilliers crashing hard there. Potentially trying to do a little too much. I would say the person that has the most nerves out there on the court is Jay Devilliers. You don't want to be the partner that loses with Anna Leigh Waters.
expecting that. That was on a platter for Devilliers.
Wow. After 2 balls there from Anna Leigh, Diamond was way off balance, and Devilliers trying to murder that ball.
8-6-1.
Just slapped it straight into the top of the net.
See the wry smile from Diamond.
Ooh, Seving a couple of times has had that ball behind Devilliers and just hit the top of the net cord.
8-6-2.
Diamond interjects himself into things.
We'll get a timeout here from Devilliers and Waters as Seving continuing that attack behind Devilliers. Diamond choosing the right time to come across and crash.
We'll take a break. 9-6, the 2 seed in the lead. The U.S. Open Pickleball Championships will continue on Championship Saturday. So honored to be on the call and represent so many wonderful people and so many wonderful athletes. And I know, Chad, it's something you and I both look forward to doing every single year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the highlight of the year for pickleball fans, for players, for us.
Timeout does its job. They get the side out.
6-9-1.
And we'll move to the second server.
Good spots there from Diamond, keeping Waters off balance.
6-9-2.
We'll finally get that 7th point.
Ooh,
That's a gift.
is not what you want. Yeah, we'll get a timeout here from Seving and Diamond.
1 minute.
That is definitely a gift you don't want to give the #1 seed. We'll take a timeout. Back to Naples in just a moment. Well, Anna Leigh Waters has never lost a gold medal match as a pro here in Naples, but a couple of times that she's not made it to the gold medal match and had to settle for bronze, but she's never actually settled for a silver. And she'd like to keep that streak alive, but trying to come back here in game 1. And the side out, so it's a good timeout by Seving and Diamond.
Yeah, excellent timeout. A nice flick there from Diamond, hard into the body of Waters. But we saw just how quickly Waters and Devilliers can close the gap if given an opportunity. So I was about to say, Seving and Diamond don't want to give this serve back right here. They want to close it out.
9-8-2.
Anna Leigh making sure Seving stays back. That'll be wide. So the side out gets it right back to Waters and Devilliers.
Well, that's a great hold there from Waters and Devilliers.
8-9-1.
Anna Leigh comes in with that two-handed backhand.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot. Seving took a step to the middle to cover the hole, and Waters goes right at that right shoulder.
So all even at 9. And Devilliers doing work at the kitchen line.
That's a much better job there from Devilliers, staying compact, trusting the hands, and just getting that ball quickly.
4 unanswered points for Waters and Devilliers puts them on game point.
1 minute.
And that's the pickleball version of freezing the kicker right there. They waited till the last possible moment.
You've got to use it right there.
I'm just saying they waited till the last possible moment to use it.
Yeah, Diamond taking time, walking over, grabbing the towel, looks up at the scoreboard. Yeah, we'll use that timeout. We're not going to hold on to it. But, again, 9-6 lead. We have a missed return. We've got a couple of unforced errors in there.
And, Chad, I know that Seving and Diamond, they've played a bunch on the pro level. And, you like to think, like, hey, you're not going to be affected by the moment. But you realize you're a couple points away from getting the big advantage of taking game one against the #1 seed, and the entire crowd is rooting against you. You're only human, man. You start thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah, you get a little tight. You start thinking, hey, we're only 2 points away. We just need 2 more. And then it totally changes the way that you got there. Then once that momentum starts shifting again, it's hard to bring it back. That'll help, though.
That'll move to the second server. Game point number 2. Diamond and Seving just wanting a chance.
Oh, it's good lead there from Diamond. Got his body out of the way.
And so they get a chance. What can they do with it?
Well, you got to score regardless. It's a must-score service side. Great job there from Seving, clearing the body. Recognized that Devilliers was going to try and go straight into the body, and she cleared that backhand and ripped it down the line.
So to extra pickleball we go. Got to win by 2.
And again, Devilliers was actually anticipating that Seving was going to slide on that one. She didn't, and he fed her a perfect backhand.
And now it's game point for Diamond and Seving. Devilliers goes up. That's why he's called the Flying Frenchman.
That was 3 inches away from being great. And instead, Casey Diamond took it to the body.
Game point number 2 for Diamond and Seving. And there it is.
Wow.
The upset in game 1, if you can call a 2-over-1 in 12-10 game an upset, but not what most people that showed up here tonight were expecting. And we will go to a second game. That was fun.
Right into the body of Devilliers. Seving continuing the attacks down the line. Let's see if that continues in game 2.
Back in beautiful Naples, Florida for the 10th anniversary of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships presented by Franklin. Heading to game number 2, and the upstarts, Diamond and Seving, they keep their streak intact. They have not dropped a game in this year's tournament. And Waters and Devilliers, we'll see if they can find their form here in game 2 and push this to a third. Diamond and Seving start with the serve in the near court here in game 2. And Devilliers promptly gets the side out.
Good step over there from Anna Leigh Waters. You see a little bit extra pep in her step.
1-0-1.
Waters and Devilliers did jump out to a 4-0 lead in that first game. Waters, the ATP. Diamond keeps it in.
A good lead there from Seving. Again, Devilliers just trying to do a little too much. Gets big on that forehand.
1-0-2.
Waters able to catch up to it, but then puts it in the net.
So we've seen this a couple of times this week where Anna Leigh Waters, she starts creating this chaos. Everything's moving quick. She can work at this speed, but it really gets the opponents off.
Night out.
That one just a little tight to the body.
That's a tough way to have a point end on that previous one.
Ooh. Waters trying to cut that return.
1-2-1.
Doesn't get it up and over the net. Ball's wide though there from Seving.
1-2-2.
Seving covering some ground.
Ooh.
Waters puts it away. Seving made them work.
Well, Devilliers made the adjustment. You see him stay home here, anticipating that speed up down the line from Seving, trusting that Anna Leigh is going to step over to the middle, which she does.
Waters now makes it a 3-1 contest. That's some power right there.
Yeah, excellent speed up there from Anna Leigh. And again, she makes every take back look the same.
It's Seving and Diamond feeling the momentum get away. Want to use a timeout here at 4-1. And we'll take a quick break as well. Coverage from the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships continue after this timeout. Well, coming into today, Anna Leigh Waters had 9 career golds and can finish the day with 11. Still a long ways to go to get up the leaderboard, though. Jim Hackenberg, 28. And that info courtesy of USOPstats.com. And you see the list, Simone Jarjing at 16 career gold medals.
4-1-1.
It has been an amazing run here, 10 years for this tournament, and no signs of slowing down. It gets bigger and better every year. And we'll get another point here to make it 5-1.
5-1-1.
Oh, missed it. Seving got a little too excited right there. Overhit the forehand.
6-1-1.
That little movement there from Devilliers. Waters stopped the motion as she was trying to reset that ball.
Waters and Devilliers, though, able to get 4 straight and still with the serve here.
No.
Oh, that is too good.
Excellent footwork. Quick to pounce on that one was Waters. Sets the angle with the paddle and then just accelerates forward. No chance for Diamond to pick that one up.
7-1-2.
Again.
Oh my goodness.
Again.
But that right there, and that we saw that from Waters in game one. Didn't execute it as well as she did right there. But there's the ATP opportunity. You see Diamond slide for the ATP defense. Seving has to slide to the middle as he moves, so that opens up the cross court. And a phenomenal angle there from Waters.
And Anna Leigh just waits till the last decision. She doesn't sell what she's going to do. I mean, it is next level sometimes when she gets it going, and she's just been getting it going in a big way here in game two.
Well, you definitely can see that have sensed the tempo of game two. It's so much faster than game one, and that's come from Anna Leigh Waters. You saw how quickly she gets that next ball, gets ready to serve, the footwork, everything. She's picked up the pace to keep Seving and Diamond off balance. They're controlling the tempo, they're controlling the pace of play, and so far Seving and Diamond haven't been able to slow it down, haven't been able to get it into the rhythm that they want.
Waters and Devilliers 6 points and counting on this service opportunity.
Time in. 8-1-2.
Make it 7 and counting.
Shake and bake, baby. Devilliers, big rip, and then Waters just unleashing the two-hand backhand up at the kitchen line.
9-1-2.
Oh, he had it, but he got too much on it.
Diamond having to get his face out of the way. Devilliers trying to match Anna Leigh Waters right there. Gets a little too excited.
1-9-1.
So 1-9-1.
Ooh, and then compounds it with the missed return.
2-9-1.
Diamond moving too quickly, trying to get back. Body movement didn't execute, left that forehand short.
2-9-2. Right out.
Can't have that fruitless of a serve opportunity the way things are rolling right now on the other side. And that'll take us to game point.
Well, that's where the movement of Devilliers right there, it forced Seving to try and take a sharper angle cross court.
9-2-1.
Well, Devilliers and Waters, they squandered 2 game points in game one. They do not squander any in game two, and they put on a show. 11-2 for the #1 seed in game two. We'll go to a third game to decide gold coming up here on CBS Sports Network. Back here in Naples, Florida, Anna Leigh Waters, she's got the TV thing down, because to every break she looks up at the red hat, which is the person whose job it is to flip the card.
She knows exactly when we're coming back.
She knows exactly to be looking. She was definitely chomping at the bit to get this game started after that emphatic victory in game two. Waters and Devilliers in the near court. There will be an end change at 6. And the side out for Seving and Diamond off the unforced error by Waters.
0-0. 0-0-1.
Waters just trying to sneak that one down the line over the high part of the net.
Oh, that's
A little bit of a stutter step there from Diamond. He was a fraction of a second late.
0-0-2.
ATP defended by Waters, but then Seving puts it away.
Yeah, Waters wasn't able to keep that one down. It was a little bit of a higher ball there from Diamond on the ATP.
1-0-2. Side out.
Side out, back over to Waters and Devilliers.
0-1-1. Set serve.
Ball a little bit deadened off of the paddle there of Seving. Waters was looking to have that one just a little bit higher. That's a pretty roll, though, from Waters right there. Diamond having a slide to protect the line.
Ties it up at 1 apiece.
1-1-2.
Oh, that ball's wide.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
I cannot overturn it.
Anna Leigh protesting. I mean, that was very close.
Side out.
Anna Leigh can't believe the call.
Cannot.
Take another look.
Cannot ask the crowd. Side out.
We see right here.
Play ball.
Yeah, that ball was out.
Joanna Corker, the referee for this one. That was a great line. You cannot ask the crowd.
Everybody in the crowd was offering their opinion.
Anna Leigh is the crowd favorite, as everybody's watched her grow up on these courts. Little mini scorpion by Seving, but it goes into the net.
Yeah, it's a good spot there from Devilliers. It goes that left ear of Seving. She was sitting a little heavier on the forehand.
Devilliers leaves it short. And back in front for the 2 seed.
2-1-2. Side out.
Just rushed a little bit there again from Seving. She's missed a few drops.
1-2-1.
Anna Leigh, great job keeping this thing alive. And then Anna Leigh forces the issue.
Double attack on the two-hand backhand. Splits the middle with the finish.
She's drilled that more than a few times in her life.
Absolutely. Devilliers too quick there with the forehand, standing a little too tall as well.
2-2-2.
Jay has let a couple get away in this match. Good range by Diamond.
Seving telling him to go. Not much option for Diamond other than to go and get that one.
3-2-2.
Anna Leigh a little low on that.
Well, Anna Leigh trying to sneak it through the middle there again, but Seving this time quick to cover the gap.
2-3-1.
Touch volley there from Devilliers after he pushed Seving back well behind the baseline.
Decision by Jay. Diamond. Anna Leigh gets the serve right back. The scary part is, Chad, you said earlier in the week, and I agree with you, Anna Leigh probably hasn't even hit her prime yet.
No. At 19, still a lot of time left in professional pickleball. And you know that she's not happy just being where she is. She's continuing to develop her game.
Seving and Diamond do their job getting the hold to keep it at 2-3. Anna Leigh, the world is her oyster right now, and I wonder, is pickleball meant to more to Anna Leigh, or is Anna Leigh meant more to pickleball?
2-3-1.
It's a good question. Ooh, just wide. Diamond read it, but a little too big on the take back, so that angle was created too large.
Anna Leigh.
Oh,
Did
she stepped in some water,
Yeah.
so she's just trying to dry the shoes off.
She would want us to tell you that those are her Nike shoes, as the swoosh might indicate.
Yeah, signature Nikes. She's got a signature Franklin.
Side out. I'm guessing she's been to the campus in Oregon, which is fantastic if you've never been out there, Chad. And I'm getting word from the truck. Indeed, there was a big presentation out there when she was out there.
Yeah, the side spin on that, plus to the backhand of Diamond. He tried to go extra large on that one, just slapped it into the top of the net.
Timeout receivers, 4-2-1, 1 minute.
And Seving and Diamond are going to use their final timeout, as they're feeling like they got to stop the momentum. We'll take a break as well. Well, since we're talking about corporate sponsors, let's give some love to Franklin, stepping up as the title sponsor this year. Anna Leigh also with Franklin. And the Baldwin Group, Knox Pickleball. Of course, Skechers has been on board all along. Duper, Engage Pickleball, Yola, Kitsch Pickleball, Paddle Tech. I mean, the list goes on and on. It gets longer every year. Pickleball Warehouse, Volvo, Wilson, Zing Zang, sponsoring Championship Court.
You're a sponsor this year too, aren't you, Dave?
I am, with my startup Tickscape that I started. And Anna Leigh Waters starting to smell a gold.
Sneaking that one through the middle. Another perfectly timed crash there from Waters. Fully outstretched.
5-2-1.
Oh,
Well, it's really all going their way now.
and gets the net cord and lands in.
1 minute.
And I'll tell you what, I misspoke before, because they changed the scoreboard so quick before.
I was going to correct you,
yeah,
but I
this
figured
is not a
you'd written-
timeout. This is the end change.
Yeah.
But
Diamond and Seving do still have a timeout remaining.
they were so quick. I looked up and it said 1, and they had already changed
Game
it.
2 was so quick that you thought they used them all up in that one.
Well, exactly. It felt like it was all. We're back after the end change. Stay with us from Naples. Back in Naples, we mentioned the sponsors, the 3 Franklin athletes on the court, because we said Anna Leigh, and obviously Casey and Sofia. donning the Franklin on championship court. So after the end change, Devilliers and Waters right now with all the momentum. And that will carry out to move to the second server.
Devilliers crashed a couple of times. He's had 2 really good attacks, and then that third swing just a little too big, and he sends it deep. Body moved a little too early there for Seving as that left shoulder move that brought the paddle down.
Anna Leigh misses. So hope still alive for Diamond and Seving, but they need to get going and get going in a hurry.
Good spot there from Diamond, tying up Waters, going hard into that right shoulder.
3-7-1.
Oh, a little bit of life now for Diamond and Seving.
Enough that now it's going to be Waters and Devilliers using a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good timeout to use right here. You don't want it, Seving and Diamond, to get that momentum shift back. So Waters quick to turn that, or to call that timeout.
Well, if you're Seving and Diamond, you know you really haven't done much yet. It's you're still 3 down. And you need to keep this momentum going. But the way that they held on to win the first game, they staved off 2 game points in that game. Waters and Devilliers could have closed out game 1, and we wouldn't even be here for a third.
Yeah, it's very true. Seving and Diamond were tough there at the end of game 1. They've come out here after that timeout, started to be a little bit more aggressive again. You see just a little bit more intensity in these last 3 points.
Devilliers with the flick of the wrist to move it to the second serve.
Yeah, excellent counterpunch there from Devilliers. Punches through with the back of the hand.
Here. 4-7-2.
Firefight eventually won by Devilliers.
Well, excellent timeout there from Waters and Devilliers. Come out and get 2 stops. Nice and compact there from Devilliers.
7-4-1.
And they're 4 points away from gold.
Oh, and then help from the net cord. So Seving snuck balls down the line against Devilliers in game 1. And since game 2, he's made that adjustment. He's holding his ground there.
8-4-1.
Anticipating that speed up, getting a good counter.
And no love from the net. 2 points away.
9-4-1.
Oh,
Anna Leigh gets a paddle on it.
Oh, what a get, and then Diamond lets the ball drop a little too much and follows it straight down into the net. You thought the point was done. There was no way that Waters Gets it back up, throws up that defensive lob.
Championship point. And just misses, so we'll go to a second championship point.
Great read there by Seving.
10-4-2.
Anticipating that speed up down the line. Ooh. Oh.
Wow, so the net, the friend of Seving that time. And their chances are on life support, but still a chance.
4-10-1. Second serve.
You cannot afford any mistakes right now.
Four, 10-2.
4-10-2. Devilliers finally puts it at the feet of Diamond, and that'll take us to a third try to seal this championship.
10-4-1. Second serve.
All right, try number 4.
Wanted to go over. It peaked for a second. Oh my goodness.
It's almost like they're making it hard on themselves right now.
Yeah, Devilliers trying to do just a little too much. I mean, that's part of it, right? You're up by a pretty comfortable lead. You want to finish on you want to finish on a highlight shot. You don't want to just finish on ball into the net or something.
Second serve.
You can't afford all these empty
4-10-2.
serve attempts right now if you're Diamond at Seving. 5 straight empty serves.
Right out.
All right, so this will be championship point number 5.
10-4-1.
The crowd's like, oh, there it is for the lob serve from Anna Leigh. Oh,
Diamond!
Oh, Diamond!
Diamond shining bright right there.
Answering the call. Great hands here from Diamond, and then the crash cross court.
That was a 4-carat performance right there for Casey Diamond, keeping this thing alive. Championship point number 6.
Right out.
Wow. All right, now Seving and Diamond. It's been 6 straight serves without a point for them.
Have to take advantage of this opportunity.
4-10-1.
There's one. Devilliers just bumping the backhand and popping that up. Seving steps up, splits the middle.
5-10-1. Second serve.
A little rush there from Seving.
5-10-2.
5-10-2. Diamond comes over, but had too much on it. And this will take us to championship point number 7. Will it be lucky number 7 for Waters and Devilliers?
10-5-1.
And there's your highlight.
It was out.
Oh, that called that out.
Wow, that was tight right there.
From where I was, I thought that was in. Let's take another look.
No, that's out.
Wow. All right, so championship point number 8.
10-5-2.
You maybe not.
Wow. 8 chances to win it, and they still are going.
Well, I mean, one way you can look at it is Seving and Diamond have had 8 opportunities to score on the other side, and really, I mean, they've only scored once. They haven't really been able to close the gap. Oh, that's pretty right there. Brushing up the back of the ball there from Anna Leigh Waters. Gets it to land 2 feet inside the baseline. Uh-oh.
They'll move it to 6. 6-10.
6-10-2.
Nope.
All right, here we go. Number 9. I didn't think we'd get to 9. 9th championship point opportunity.
10-6-1.
Oh, excellent counter there from Seving.
All right, let's go to 10.
Oh, that ball sails deep. How many chances, how many times are you going to have the ball on the paddle?
6-10-1.
Seving and Diamond have not had 9 lives. They've had 10 lives.
6-10-1.
And now they have it back at 6-10-1.
I just don't know what to say at this point. Nobody wants to close it out. Nobody wants to close the gap.
6-10-2. 7-10-2.
That might be the 7th or 8th error on the Devilliers backhand.
7-10-2.
Oh my goodness.
And Waters and Devilliers are going to call a timeout. Do you remember I said earlier they were on life support? I mean, the patient is making a comeback.
I was watching Anna Leigh's face right there as she was walking off the court where she called the timeout. She's just, she's smiling and shaking her head like, what's going on right now? Seving and Diamond look completely out of this one. And they have just been given time after time opportunities to come back.
It was 10-4. 10-4. And Waters and Devilliers were on a stretch where they scored 7 points on 9 serves, and then all of a sudden None on the last 10.
Time in.
So 8-10-2.
Oh, it was deep. Seving set it up. She snuck it down the line behind Devilliers. Opened up the middle, but missed it.
So here we go. Championship point number 11.
Oh, my. Cardinal said, don't miss your drop into the net.
All right. This is number 12.
This is crazy.
12.
Crazy.
12 championship points.
8-10-1.
Oh.
Devilliers tags Seving to move it to the second serve.
Seving was sitting heavy forehand. I don't even think she saw it come off the Devilliers paddle.
Devilliers sped it up and they get the hold. All right, so we've reached a baker's dozen. 13 championship points.
10-8-1. Second serve.
Game three is going on
10-8-2.
almost 40 minutes.
This is 14.
No! Missed it on the backhand. Waters going into the top of the net. What is going on right now?
This is insane. 14 championship points. 14 extra lives for Seving and Diamond.
Why?
It's back to a 1-point game.
I don't know why Devilliers goes for the Ernie right there. It wasn't a high enough ball.
9-10-1.
Devilliers did a good job of catching up with that one off the net.
Yeah, that's a very good adjustment there, especially with how high it kicked up on the backhand.
9-10-2.
9-10-2. Obviously, this is huge to get this 10th point. Oh, they will not.
Just inside the baseline. Diamond can't pick it up.
Okay, I was told there'd be no math, so we're getting a little high here. This is 15.
Fingers and toes, fingers and toes.
10-9-1.
Wow. 16.
That's an excellent forehand to the feet of Waters there by Diamond. Oh. There it is, finally!
Wow.
Nobody's more relieved than Jay Devilliers right now.
Unreal. 16 championship points before they finally get the gold. I don't know what to say.
It comes off the speed up by Anna Leigh Waters through the middle, creates the pop-up, and then Devilliers to put it away. But Man, the stress that would have been on that court.
10-12, 11-2, and 11-9 to win gold. We'll talk to them coming up in just a moment.
It took 16 match point opportunities for Devilliers and Waters to close it out, but Diamond and Seving did not want to give up. Fantastic performance by all four players out there, but in the end, Anna Leigh Waters and Jay Devilliers proving just too strong, and they come away with a gold medal here in Naples. To say Devilliers is relieved would be an understatement. 10-12, 11-2, 11-9. As we take a look at the numbers presented by Skechers Pickleball, almost identical, a little bit less on the unforced errors there from Waters and Devilliers, and that proved to be the difference. But we're going to throw it down to Dave Benz, who's courtside.
And we are here to hand out some hardware. And Sofia Seving and Casey Diamond, I can see by the looks on your faces, it's obviously not the medal you wanted. You win that first game. What was going through your mind as you guys were fighting your way back in that third game? You staved off, I don't know if you know the number, you guys staved off 15 championship points to push it to a 16th. That was unbelievable.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah, just a great match overall. Congrats to our opponents. I think we've been really excited to play a different team, you know. We've been looking forward to it for a really long time. So, yeah, I think, sorry, I'm a little bit, I think a comment was made to me that kind of got to me a little bit. I'm only a human being, so it made me a little bit emotional, but I think I needed to just regroup after that and kind of go out. But, you know, I'm really happy to be in a final with Casey. And yeah, thank you, everyone, for being out here.
Guys, let's hear it for Sofia Seving. I mean, she put on a show this week and battled. And Casey, I mean, just watching you guys refuse to say die. And you also staved off 2 game points in that first game to be able to come back and win it. I mean, you guys just really represented yourself so well.
Yeah, I mean, we back in Boca, we train pretty much every day for these situations like this. Like she said, we've been waiting on this matchup against her and whoever for a really long time, and it was very fun to be able to play somebody a little bit different. But congrats to them; they played a great match. Obviously, I wish we'd have pulled it out, but on to the next. And thank you guys to the fans. I really appreciate it. Last year, when me and Soph came here, we were like the 47 seed, and no one knew who we are. And now you guys are all cheering for us. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you guys took bronze last year. Now you got silver, and maybe that trend continues next year. Let's get you with your silver medals right now, Eva Welsher, to present the medals and the championship checks to our silver medalists. Let's hear it one more time for Casey Diamond and Sofia Seving. All right, and with that, let's turn our attention to the gold medals. Okay, so I got to begin with the end of Game 3, obviously. What were you guys saying? 15 chances went by the board. You needed 16 to close. Have you ever needed 16 chances to close out a championship?
No, I'm not going to lie. This never happened to me. And playing with Anna Leigh on top of that made me feel a bit worse. But we got it done. So, again, congrats to them. They played some incredible points on match point, especially at the beginning. So, yeah, great battle and just happy to win this one.
And Anna Leigh, what were you guys saying to each other during that run?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about too much, but I like setting records. That's a new one. That's a new one. 15 is definitely a new one. I was telling him it was giving me flashbacks to when I was playing with Ben in the last tournament. I think we maybe had 10 and won like 13-11 in the fourth. So I need to stop doing this is what that's what I'm getting to. But no, Jay's very supportive. I was trying to support him. I think in those moments it's definitely very mental and you've got to figure out a way to get out of it. And Jay on that 16th match point was like, you know what? Screw this, I'm just going for it. And he did, and we won it. But like Jay said, they played some amazing points, especially on our game points. I think we were up 10-4, so that just shows the grit that they have on the other side. So congrats to you guys for playing an amazing match, and very happy to come away with this one. I wouldn't have been too happy if we had 15 and not come away with it.
And this one for both of you before we give you the medals. I know you said to me earlier this week that you guys had only ever played together in an exhibition. Is this a matchup we might see a little bit more of?
I would like to, but I know that she's pretty set with Ben, and they have been doing pretty well. So I'm not sure she's willing to change anytime soon.
Well, Anna Leigh, I know you have no shortage of people that want to play alongside you, but I know the crowd loved watching you guys together.
Yeah, I love playing with Jay, the Flying Frenchman. It was great this week. I play against Jay a lot on the PPA. He's, like I said, just a great guy on and off the court. His family was here supporting, and my family here too. So I think we have a lot of the same values. So it was great to share the court with a really nice human being.
Let's hear it for your gold medalists in the mixed pro doubles as Ben Weinberger comes over to present them with their medals. The 2026 U.S. Open Pickleball champions Anna Leigh Waters and Jay Devilliers. And they get the hats and the prize money and the Skechers shoes and all the accolades. One more time for your champions.